kickstart that new idea that you've got.
Microsoft Reactor connects you with the developers and startups that share your goals.
Learn new skills, meet new peers, and discover the latest in technology.
Events are running around the clock, so join us anytime, anywhere.
Reactors are communities to connect. We want you to meet real developers and entrepreneurs just like you. Here you can get skilled up and learn from our product experts in the Microsoft Cloud and in open source. So watch us on demand and share your own perspective as we live stream in communities all around the world.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you all for joining us today. My name is Rashmita, and I'm the event planner for Microsoft Reactor India. This session will run over the next 60 minutes, including Q&A. But before we begin today's session, please take a moment to read our code of conduct. We are all here to learn together, so please be respectful of other people's views, understanding of differences, being kind and considerate in the way you engage. The chat section will be open throughout, and we do encourage you all to participate. So please feel free to drop all your questions in the chat section. I would now like to welcome Swami, our speaker for today's session. He is an aspirant software architect and currently works at Applied Information Sciences. He loves to learn about new technologies, but for now, I will hand over to Swami to begin the session. Let me bring him into the stream. There you go. Over to you, Swami.
Hello.
Yes, over to you. Sorry. Yeah.
Hello. Okay, thanks, Rashmita. Is my screen in share?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you guys once again for joining another session. And we are starting this module, implement knowledge mining with Azure AI Search. So this is the second module from that. So first one we completed in the previous session. This one we are doing it, and there are other sessions. And apart from that, we already discussed how are we going to take care, because some of the modules which are little bigger will focus on that. When sometimes it is little lesser, we will mix a module with another module. And some of the chapters which we completed, they do not have any change. Like if you see this particular module which we have recently completed, there's something new is there, but rest of the things are same. And one new thing we are seeing is develop AI agents on Azure. We will definitely cover this first. Let's complete this search and document intelligence. Then we'll come back to this agents and some of the chapters of Gen AI. Some of the content of this Gen AI has been moved into different chapters. If we see this one, there are quite a few new things has come in here, which was not available when we were seeing when we saw last time. It was only 3 modules and all 3 were green. Now today I'm seeing new things are coming in. It's good that let's learn some things which are coming in. So as of today, we will be sticking to this this particular chapter module, create custom skill. Let's see. I think we have to do a little bit of comparison between these two, because some things which we did it through the portal, here we are doing it through the command or curl or a lot of different things which we are using, REST APIs, and through automation. We don't even see the portal, everything gets created, but let's take time. And I could not prepare the documentation. There is one good reason why I could not prepare the documentation is I was at Microsoft Build last week, and so I was I was here in Microsoft Build last week. So little tired. It's where my main repo, and you'll see this one. And there are few things which is from the Microsoft build which I attended. There are beautiful labs, very good labs on AI, which I'll be doing it in our series itself. So we'll spend, I mean, that each lab itself is of 1.5 hours a minimum. So we'll be bringing in as and when we get some time. So for today's content, let's come and look at this. So last time we have seen the managing the capacity. We saw that replicas and partitions, that gives us the capacity here, search units. So we saw that how many replicas and how many partitions that we have seen it. And most of the things which we did it through the portal. And if I come and see this we'll just quickly touch base, not go deep, but we saw that data source, and we spoke about the skill set, the AI, it applies the AI skills as part of the indexing process. And we saw that indexer, which drives the entire indexing process, and index is the searchable result. We saw these things, and then understanding the index process also, we saw that with the sample how the normalized images and all these things will come. Even the OCR, it gets the content from the images. I'm still having some throat infection kind of thing, so apologize if my voice changes little. So we saw that search we have seen a little, and we played with the search field as well as the JSON type, and we saw the filtering and sorting. We have seen that, but everything we did it through the portal. So then we did the enhance the index, and here we were getting one issue which I did not investigate. Maybe I did not do properly, or something was going wrong. I will tell you where did it go wrong, but I'll come back to it, because as I was mentioning, I just came this Saturday morning, and still I'm in jet lag. So where did it was going wrong is it was going wrong in the modify search. If you see that when we are adding the URL, this one, very specific sentiment was failing. Because of that, had to comment few lines in this UI also. Okay, because of that I had to comment it, but I'll come back to that. But whereas in today's session, I tried it, everything is working fine, even without commenting or doing anything. What I see is it creates all these things. We'll come back to that. Okay, URL and sentiment is getting added here. Okay, that's cool. I'll look at this in the next episode, but let's go and work on this one. So for this, I just created a new resource group. I just wanted to, we'll be able to grasp a little bit more. So here we are creating the custom search. We do have the lots of lots of things which go and create. We can lot of built-in skills are available, but custom skill is when we want to do something which doesn't come out of the box. So in that scenario, we need to go ahead with the custom skill. So you can see this. We have predefined skills. I'm having some throat infection, so sorry if my voice changes, or I'll be pausing it for a second or two. Predefined skills in Azure Search. We have this, and sometimes if we need to do something extra, so we need to create a custom skill. So if you see that something which we can't do it with the existing one, predefined one, then we need to have this one. So here, integrate the document intelligence service to extract the data from forms, or consume a machine learning model to integrate, or any custom logic. So here we see this is a data source, and this we can compare with the previous one, where indexing process. If I come in here, the diagram, I think it's in 3. We see the data set here, compare that. So the data source is there. So the next thing is skill set. So a lot of built-in skill sets are available. So somewhere where we need to have something new or extra apart from the built-in skill set, at that time, we can have an web API. I mean, this is one of the sample to support these scenarios. We can implement the custom skill as a web-hosted service. We can have this one, and that supports the required interface for integration into skill set. So at this location where we were having the data source and we were using the built-in skill set, we are interacting with an external API to do the custom skill. And then again, we see that indexer is same. This process is same. And then index it. That process is also same. The only thing is the second step where we were doing the skill set, that is when we need anything which is cannot be done, or which we want to achieve something more apart from what these default skill sets are supporting. At that time, we need to have this one. So that's about this. And let's see here, custom skill, integrate custom skill in Azure skill set, enrich the search index, and machine learning. There's nothing we are going to do in the machine learning. So here it's giving how do we create the input schema and output schema. We will see while we are doing the practical implementation. I just want to give a quick, okay. So to add a custom skill, to integrate a custom skill into our indexing solution, we must add a skill for it to a skill set using a custom web API skill. This is important. So you see this one, the data type will be web API skill. So that means we are hitting the API, and here we need to have the endpoint URL. That's one important point. And custom text classification skill. So here we can see custom text classification skill. But here in our sample, whatever we are doing is the word count, number of times the word is repeating in a particular document. So here you can see that here is the data, and create a language studio project, and we need to train the model, create a search index, and Azure function. So at some point where we are creating, we saw that in the previous one, in this step, we have integrated the Azure function. Okay, we can store the data. So create the language project, then we can train the model, then create a search index, create a Azure function app, We can create an Azure function app, and then we can call the prediction, or there's a prediction URL where we can call it. But our sample is little different, but we will see this whatever it is given here. Update your Azure AI search solution. So here again, if you see wherever we need to have the custom skill, we need to have the web API skill. That means we are going to call the external API. So here we are calling the language service, the prediction URL, whatever we are, the prediction URL, I think so. That's what it should be. The learn custom, I think, learn ACS lang service. That's again the URL where we are going and hitting it. So we'll come back to the next one. Machine learning, we are not doing anything, but there is a provision. Custom machine learning skill schema. Okay, suppose if you want using a machine learning custom skill works the same way as adding any other custom skill. So only thing is, if you see that here in the previous one, we'll call it as an API where we are hitting the endpoint. So let me come to that location. Where is that? Here you can see that web API skill. That means we are hitting an endpoint. And I didn't try the machine learning one, but only thing is I know that the Azure machine learning AML skill instead of web API, it is Azure machine learning skill. And I think here it should have the Azure machine learning endpoint, and we should be able to interact with this. Okay. I didn't try this one, but we do have an option. They have given the steps also. Let's see if time permits in the next session or sometime we will do that. So let me, I've already opened this in a separate tab so that we will be able to do this. So create a custom skill for Azure. So here again, this entire code will be here in this GitHub repo. Now we need to create a resource. So first we need to create a multi-service account, Azure AI services. Let's create it real quick. I just want to do a live session. So I just created, I mean, this I have pre-created it, but let's do it here in this dev resource group. Let's start with this. Okay. Sometimes it takes time, no problem. AI services. And we should be able to, that's a multi-service account. Let's come back. Azure AI services. Yeah. 002. I'm calling it as this one. I'm dropping it there, and this is the standard one. Review and create. Let's give it a minute so we can see this over here. That's Foundry, this one. Azure AI services, the multi-service account. Right? This is the one. So let's click on this. And we already discussed when we are going with the multi-service account, the pricing tier will be S0. We will not get an option of free tier. because that's a multi-service resource. But when we are trying a single, like a vision or any of those single service, then within a region, at least we'll have an option to use a free tier. That also we have seen that. So let me come in here, and we are seeing this multi-service account. Okay, that's the first step. It's a big win now. So we need to have the overview, subscription ID, and location. So we can get into this. We'll come to that when it is needed. Okay, it's immediately it is needed. So let's see. In the Visual Studio Code, we can come back here, and this is the one we can see. Here it is there, 002. We are in this, and we do have something known as a setup command. So this is the batch file where we need to have the subscription ID, resource group, and these three things which we needed. So what this guy is telling is go and update these three. Okay, let's do that first. So let me come back to this one. I will go into this, and let me grab the subscription. So that's the subscription, and let me come back to the resource group. That's the resource group, and the location is East US. So that is EAS. It will be in this lowercase. So we need to update those three, and then open in an integrated terminal. We can open it in this integrated terminal itself, like you can do this, and open an integrated terminal. So directly opens up this particular folder. We did this on 02 search skill. So it opens that. Suppose if we want to go into some other folder and we want to do open an integrated terminal, it directly navigates it to this particular terminal, create search. So with create search. So I don't want these two. I have opened an external terminal. I'll just show you there. So this is the one I have already opened it. So let's come back to the instruction. So I already logged in, and we can see that we can execute this command to get the location. So list Azure locations. So ours is East US. So let's see that it just gives a list here. Sorry, this one East US 2. Somewhere on the top, I think so. East US, yeah, East US is at the top. So that's what we used it, the proper, okay, East US, everything in lowercase. We did that, and in the output we can see that for East US it is this, but when we see that in the portal, we see it in this format, East US, or there are a lot of other format which you can see this on the display name. This is the identifier or the name which uses, but externally the display name will be this one. Okay, so this command will give this information. And in the setup, we need to modify the subscription ID, resource group, and location. So we did that also. So we updated the subscription ID, resources, and the location. Now I already logged in to my Azure sponsorship subscription. So that means it is going to create it there into my Azure subscription. So all we need to do is within this folder, there is a setup command, and this is the shell script. Anyone who's in the bash, they can use this, or we can execute the command. I mean, someone who's using this VS code, it's it's simple. What we can do is we can do the terminal itself. So we can see here, it is clearly showing, and we can get into the slab files, CD, and we can do that. Or we can have the PowerShell. This is the back. I mean, both options are there. Anything we are comfortable, we can go ahead with that one. So right now, I'll stick to the game plan. So what happens is, let's execute this one. Okay, I'm calling it as setup CMD, enter. So when we do that, when we enter the setup, what happens is, let's come and see this. Here, there are nothing. So now if we come and keep a watch on this one, it's creating a storage account. And the logic also we can see in this batch file. So it is creating a storage account. It's adding a unique ID, couple of random numbers, and the subscription ID it's adding. So then it is uploading the files. So it is that it's uploading the files into it's creating the container upload batch. It's creating this, and okay, the data, I think this so let's see that it's uploading the files. Computing it. So we said that we got the keys, and we are creating the container, and here the name is this one, Margis, and source is data, that is this folder. So it's pushing all the files, maybe the collateral, and you're seeing that all the PDFs it uploaded, and then it is going to give us some key information. Let's see that what all those things. It's going to give the storage account name. Here we can see that it's going to give the storage account name, connection string, search service endpoint, its admin key, its service key. So the storage account, it has split its connection string, and the search endpoint, it's going to give us an admin key and the query key. Oh, this is like a wealth of knowledge. Whatever we need it, we are going to get that. So what I'll do is I'll quickly go ahead and copy all this from here. I mean, we will need it shortly. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and paste it here. Cool. Now we'll come and we'll refresh this. We see this one we created manually, and we are seeing that it created a storage account here. It created a storage account, it uploaded the files, and then it created a search. So let's go and see into this. And storage browser and block container and marches. We saw that this collateral reviews, it has uploaded it. I'm sorry. And again, we see that these are the review PDFs. These are the review PDFs, and I just wanted to take one quick minute over here. Looks like I did some mistake in the when we are when we're doing my throat voice is changing. I don't know what frequency it is matching. Okay, we'll come back to that one. So here we have uploaded this, and we got this information. Okay, so till here we are good. In the portal, we can go ahead and see. We have validated that the files are here, and let's go into this search. And here, if you see this, the search endpoint is 9525. So it is 9525. And look at the keys. For some reason, this is taking a little longer. I don't know why. Seriously. God. I don't know. It shouldn't take this much time. See this. That's the difference. I'm seeing that. It should be in two folders. I've uploaded everything in the same folder. That might be the reason I was facing a problem there. I will rerun that. Let's see. Wow. The URL we are verified, and this is the key, admin keys. Whatever we are trying to verify is the admin key. Shouldn't take this much time. This I can enable the view. So that's FPYZ, that first one, X0SE. So both are here. I can regenerate, but anyways, I'm going to delete these resources after the session. So I'll keep it as it is. So here now we saw that we have the data source, skill set, index, and indexer. So let's spend 1 quick minute, not more, just to see that what we have created manually, and what is that which is it is getting created. So I think this is a search service. Let's go here, and we see the skill set. Sorry. So we saw that I'm sorry. The first thing is the data store and data source. The first one is the data source, then the skill set, then the index, and then indexer. Extract the document from this. So we saw that all these things are already created in the previous one. So here, now when we come back to the latest one, whatever we are doing, so we don't have the data source connected. We don't have the skill set. We don't have the either indexes or index. So right now there's nothing. So here in this exercise, what we will do is we are going to create the search. Okay, so that means let's come back to this one, the second folder. Let me close this so that we'll get some extra space. Here we need to create a search. I mean, search is already created. Technically, this means like we are creating the skill set, hooking up the data source, and doing all those things. So if you come back over here, this first thing it is asking us to go to the data source. See, you can see the data source, skill set, index, and indexes. It's asking us to hook the connection string. So we are taking this connection string all the way from there till here. I'll copy and then get into this and modify this. Right? So now we have updated the connection string. So then let's see this. Okay, then the next thing is skill set JSON. So we are coming to this skill set JSON. So in the skill you have. So where is that cognitive services key? So if I go back here, so we created the multi-service account. So we need to come here and click on this. and just copy this one. Copy this, and here I'll paste it. Okay. So we did two things. One thing is connection string we updated in the data source here. Okay. And in the next thing is skill set. So skill set we updated the AI services. Okay, that will be here. Now the step 7, we need to create a search. There we have the index JSON. So here we can see that in the index JSON, so it has got all the index. So if you remember the previous episode when we were doing this, it has showed a tabular form with all the checkboxes. So we have selected like a editable, retrievable, searchable, or I don't exactly remember, but we did those checkboxes in the previous session. So that's what it is doing it here. So if you go into this indexes, let's spend a minute to see. For some reason, I don't know why this is. God, come on. Okay, let's go into this. No, I want this. I can see this one. Not the same fields. Right, you see that the content, MD string, these all things are, we are creating this index. And the next one is this indexes. So let's go to that indexes. I mean, these are all things which we created manually. So I'm just comparing the things what we created in the previous session manually in the portal. Now this time we are using the command line to do it. We'll spend a time, a minute, but just give me, for some reason this sometimes it troubles, but all the time it works very good. So we have to bear with it. So here we see this index. We saw this index, and we are not going to change anything in this index. All we have to do is just browse through it and done and dusted. So here, if you can see this, here, see in the create, this contains the definition of index. Okay, the custom index. Read but do not make any changes. So in the create, there is indexer. This file contains the definition of indexer. Okay, that's index, and we'll not be doing any modification here in the index or the indexer. So let's come back to this one. Oh God, please. Okay, so this is a indexer. Come to this. Just wanted to see that we saw that how the index JSON looks. We saw that the content inside the portal and the JSON file which we are having in the Git repo are pretty similar. And here we can see all the source field and the target field where we should get mapped. All these things are given, including the sentiment and other things. Okay, so this is the URL. Okay, that's cool. I think we don't need to wait on that one. Let's go to the next step. So we did everything. So we have added the cognitive services here and the connection string. So two files we have modified, and other two files we just opened it and closed. We didn't touch anything. One is this one, and the second one is skill set. Okay, and inside the skill set, okay, the web API skill set will come afterwards. So we're done with this pretty much. And what we need to do is, after coming back here, we need to cd into create, and there we have create search command. So it's creating. Ooh, I'm sorry. Uh, let's exit. There is something which I need to change. I forgot to change that here. I'm sorry, I rushed. So here it says that create search folder in this file itself, in the create search batch file. So here we have the search URL and the admin key. So we already copied that search URL, and let's grab this primary key. Okay, I think now we are good. I mean, it's my mistake. I'm sorry, guys. Let it execute. I'll have another glass of water. So if you see, whatever we were able to do manually in the previous session, that everything we are doing it through the REST API. We can see that all these things over here. I don't want to touch the things which are working, so leave it at that. So we can see it is creating the indexer, and it is creating the index. We can go ahead and see that. Let me come back to this one. Okay, this is the cognitive. Let me go to the search. Inside the search, first let's see, the database should have been hooked up, and then next it has to create the skill set. So it created the skill set. Let's see that real quick. And I think the command would have been executed by this time. Everything all is done. So indexes, index, creating the skill set, hooking up the database. So all it is doing a REST API call. So it's, see this, it's doing all the post and put calls to the URL. That means the search URL. Technically, we are doing the REST API, and here we are hooking up the admin key. Let's see that. Why it's taking this much time? Okay, there you go. So here we can see that all the skill set are here, and let me come back to this one. And we saw data source, skill set, and then indexes, and then we will be seeing the indexers. Okay, so indexer is there. This is index. Okay, here we have this indexer, sorry, index, and this one, the query view. Either we can use the JSON, or this one we can go ahead and search. It gives us everything. I'll leave it there. We'll come back to that. We'll definitely come back now. We did it, and now we can come back, and I'll change the view to query view, and instead I'll paste this. So all the sentiment which is equal to positive. So if I want all negative, want negative, now I will search. Wow, Trend is positive. Negative should give negative. Why it's giving positive? Try to anything mistake. Let me see that. We copy this and sentiment. The sentiments give positive. Okay, let's keep the same. So it's giving the positive. Technically, it should give the negative also. For some reason, I will keep it as it is. It's okay. So next thing is we need to create a function app. So let's go and create this function app. Let me go back to this one, get into this resource group, and let me create a new resource. And this resource is a function app resource, and click function, and it should be consumption plan. But please observe that here runs web apps and function app on the same plan with more compute choice and pay for instances of the plan. But here, if you see the max scale out instances on consumption, it is 200, and flex consumption is the best. But if you see from the functions premium or app service, container apps is better. But if you see, the consumption is at least 200. From the scalability perspective, if it is an event driven, this is a decent plan. So we are selecting it, and let's call funk app dev002. This is we are doing custom skill. So let me copy that. Oh, let it be here. Let's kill this, and function app custom skill dev002. It's Windows, and runtime is Node.js, and it is East US. But sometimes in the documentation, I remember they were asking, let those two resources be within the same region. But here I see it's little uh, exception is there. Even if we don't have the quota available within the same region, they are okay, because it's just an endpoint. Because the storage and the search, those resources, they wanted to be in the same resource. I remember reading that in the previous session. But this is just an endpoint, so even if it is outside, they're okay. So let's do this, and let's go ahead and create. Let me create that. This step is over. We took the Windows operating system, and here once it gives us a control, we'll be creating the function. Let me go back and wait here. Anyways, we'll get notified once that is done. The deployment is in process, but we'll see that the HTTP trigger, and it's a word count. I mean, the software itself is changing day in and day out. So I see one very specific difference in Azure function is when maybe a couple of years ago, when I used to work in Azure functions, the type of the trigger, I can select it, and I need to scroll down and then use the mouse to move the screen up, then only I'll see the field for the name. If not, I used to select the default name. I mean, it used to select the default name. I didn't understand that. I didn't give the name why it was taking the default name. I was little confused on that one. Then suddenly I was able to move the panel up and see it. We'll see that. Now it has been moved to a separate screen. I really liked it when I saw that. Oh God, that's good. So let's go to this and we'll create a function. Previously used to come here and scroll up a little bit, then there will be two fields. So now they did it good thing. Now it is next. So these two fields will be at the bottom of this template. So then, we need to come back, move to the bottom to give the function name. So when I saw this afternoon, when I was practicing this, then I said, oh God, this is pretty good. So we have created Azure function. The code Microsoft has already given. Let's steal it. We'll come back to this one. For some reason, it is slow. If it is slow, then I'll have another glass of water. Oh God. No, my internet is pretty good. Okay, there you go. So let's come in here. So let's go and again copy this and come back and replace this entire and click on save. It saves. Once that is done, so we can use the save the function and then open the test run pane. This one. So that's coming in here, where we should be able to give the inputs. I mean, technically, we can take the endpoint and hit it from the curl or Postman or any of those tools to hit this one. For everything. Okay, see this, it has to come, okay? And directly I can come and paste the body. So you can see tiger, a couple of times it is there. So let's run that. That's what it is doing. It is executing. So you can see this, what all the things which are occurring. So you can see this, it has executed this and we are seeing the output. Okay, we can close this pane. And then, so it is giving the exact thing it has given. And we can grab the function URL with the default function key. Okay, that's the master key and this is the host key. We just needed the default function key with the default key. Now here, add the custom skill to the search solution. Now we'll come back to the update part of this. Let me come and close all this. Now we'll come back to the update portion of this. Here, update skill set contains this. Here you can see this update skill set, and you saw that Web API, Azure Machine Language skill, AML and Web API skill, whether you are using the external endpoint or API or whether you're using the Azure machine learning. So that we have to define it here. So here we see that this has been given and its name is there, and we have grabbed the function URL which we need to copy it over there. Okay, we have copied it, and again we need the cognitive services API. So that cognitive services API thing, we copied it. So let me go and grab it. Already copied it there. Okay, that's cool. So that's done. Then save and close. In the update JSON, you can open the folder update JSON. So update index JSON. Update index. This file contains at the bottom top words. This is the repeating words, top 5 words. It gets that, and then this folder update indexer also. Here the top words has been added, and without any changes, just we modify. And in the update command, again we need these two, and paste it over here. Okay, so we pasted those two things, search URL in this one. Once that is done, you should be good to go. So let me clear the screen, cd dot and update. So here we can see that update search. So it is updating the skill. So let's see that we execute it. So you can select the indexes page and then refresh to track the progress of indexing operation. We'll see that updating, resetting the index. So let's quickly go and see if we are able to see some changes. This is the one. We need to go to the indexes. By the time we came here, 12 seconds before that, it has completed. That's good. Let's see while it is coming. Some reason that, and it gives the last run, and there are no errors. You can see, yeah, this was at 411, and this is at 427. It is 428 around a minute ago. So you're seeing that this was at what time? Okay, this is 427, and this was at 411. This was at 427. Okay, that's cool. So we are able to see that. Now we can come back to this, and let me go to the search index. And from here in the overview pane, let's go to, come on. And sometimes it okay, so from here let's do an explore, and I think sometimes we have to be extra patience. Okay, there you go. So I'll change the view to JSON view and click on search. So we are seeing that it's giving the URL and the top words. It's giving the URL and the top words. I mean, if we only want content, I remember seeing that. So the entire content is also coming in apart from the URL and top words. Okay. So I think that's it from this session. We'll see in the next session, and what is that we are going to discuss in the next session will be that will be we have done this, create a knowledge store with Azure AI Search. So we'll discuss this, and now this is a smaller unit module. So I will mix this with something else so that we can follow our plan. Apart from that, learn whatever new things has come in. Okay. So back to you, Rashmita.
Thanks, Swami. We have one question, Swami. I'll just get it up on the screen.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. For these labs on the Azure portal, is it going to cost, or will it be free? Okay, let me share my screen again. Let me share it. So, Rashmita, could you please flash my screen? Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. So if you go to the exercise, and what happens is exercise, this itself they will create, use this free resources provided in the lab to complete this exercise. So most of the time when you use the Hotmail or the Microsoft account, they will give you a lab, so you can utilize this, and that will have a time limit, and ensure that you are sticking to the time, and please ensure that it's not knowingly or unknowingly, if it senses that it's being used more than what it is supposed to, then they will block it. But apart from that, please ensure that that's the only thing we need to take care. But this will be free if you log in here. So it will show you this dialog. If not, you can contact them. They will allow. But as far as I know, you don't need to have the subscription. They will give the test subscription, and once you log in with that credentials, in the drop down it will show the test subscription. You can select it and use it. Yeah. Anything else?
Thanks, Swami. I think that was the last question. But thank you so
Okay.
much once again, Swami, for hosting this session, and thank you all for joining us today. Please visit Microsoft Reactor website for more upcoming sessions. Also, we would appreciate your feedback on today's session. Please scan the QR code and do share your feedback. Today's event ID is 25559. Feel free to use the Learn module link. This will give you access to additional resources to take your learning further. Thank you all once again and enjoy the rest of your day.